All right. Hello, guys. So, let me drop the new link. All right. So, I believe that everyone can chat now and drop messages. So, good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to today's session, and I'm really, really sorry about all of this, um, all of these flops that happened. So, that's one thing I've been trying to solve for quite a number of years now. YouTube as a way of just making things feel like we came unprepared. So, if you can hear me perfectly, please do well to drop a chat. Do well to drop a chat. I want to be seeing your chat. I want to be seeing your messages. If you can hear me, all right. I can see Gilead Abayomi. I can see Olapel. So if you're on the live session, please do well to drop a message. Drop a message. Let me know that we are live. Let me know that we are live. All right, I just dropped a message in the group again. So we'll be going straight into what we have for today, and because we are a little bit far behind, we are 60 minutes behind the schedule now. So we're just going to be going straight into what we have here. First, I want to say welcome, welcome. I welcome every one of you. Yeah, I can see Michael, Michael, my guy. I can see you. I can also see Odu, my guy too. Welcome aboard. So welcome guys to the Logo Design Secrets, and this is a free webinar where I'm going to be talking about three main secrets that helps every brand designer how they stand out from the noise that we have already. So in this webinar, I'm just going to be talking about three things that you most likely haven't had people mention, and if you know me well enough, you'll know that I am already at a level whereby I don't want to just say the things that we already know. I don't want to say the things that people have said before. I want to tell you something that would help you stand out. Something that when you put it into play, when you start working on it, you start to see the changes and you start to see the improvements. So, without any further ado, let's get started. So, this is the webinar content. We're going to be talking about I already spoke about the event, so I'm just going to probably skip the introduction and we'll talk about what you should know. I'm going to share what you should know about me. Then we'll look at the concept of being a standout brand designer. Then I'm also going to go straight into the sources that we have for today. So I have three sources. We have secret source 1, we have secret source 2, and we have secret source 3. Then I'm going to share bonuses as well. Then after that, we'll take questions and answer, then the closing remark, and that'll be all. So I'm not here to even bore you guys. Trust me, I'm not here to bore you. I'm just here to give you the exact thing. And I'm not going to be beating around the bush. Trust me. I'm just going to tell you the way it is without mincing word. I'm going to tell you the way it is so that you can also become a better designer too as well. So, let's get started. So, why are we even here in the first place? Why are we here? So, I wrote down some things which I'm just going to read to you. These are the things I'll probably be reading today before we go straight into what we have. So, I'm just going to be very quick with you. Let's be honest, the internet is flooded with logo tutorials, and you know that most of them barely scratch the surface. You know that they nearly touch, like, they barely touch these things. It's very, very hard for you to find a page whereby they talk about these things, especially when it's free. So we are not just here today because we want to talk about nice logos, but we want to create strategic, we want to talk about timeless and iconic work. And this is the kind of work that gets noticed and remembered, and as well a kind of work that you can be paid for. You'll be proud to be paid for, like you'll be proud to be paid rather, and even a client will be happy to pay you. So it's not just about copying trend or playing with shapes, it's about understanding the why. I should have put it in quotes, the why behind great logos, and learning a process that you can confidently repeat clients after clients. So guys, if you're ready to stop guessing and start designing with purpose, then you are in the right space. So let's get started. What you should know about me. Most of the times I don't get to talk about myself that much, but I think it's kind of important for me to talk about myself. So I'm just going to do that very shortly. What you should know about me: I'm Prince Dynamic, and I'm a brand designer, as most of you know, and I'm also an art director. I don't think most people know that. I'm a creative educator, passionate about helping designers build brands that truly stand out. So over the years, I've worked with startups, I've worked with small businesses and top brands, leading creative teams and crafting design systems that aren't just beautiful but strategic. Now, I'm obsessed with the why behind every great logo. And if you know me, this is just me. I am really obsessed about the why. So when I see a logo, I want to know why this logo, what's the idea behind it. So that's one thing that I'm really obsessed about. So, and I teach designers how to move from random visuals to intentional, timeless identity designs. I think I've hosted 2 courses, and I've gotten testimonials from my students that I'm really proud of, because I see quite a number of them do well, and I can I can joyfully say I have like 90% success rates, because most of my designers are good. Like most, if not all of them, are very, very good. So when I'm not designing or teaching, I'm probably building community, mentoring creatives, or pouring into projects that connect faith, purpose, and creativity. So if you are still following me, I want you to write sauce, in the comment section, so I can know that you are following me, so I can drop the sauce on time, so you don't get to miss that. Let's do that. If you're following, just drop sauce in the comments. So now let's talk about the concepts of being a standout brand designer, and it's something that we should really know. So being a standout brand designer means more than just creating good looking logos, and it's all about designing with purpose. It's all about designing with strategy, with clarity, and it's also the ability for you to translate a brand essence into visuals that connect, and convert. Now, if you look at what I said here about being a standout brand designer, okay, before we go ahead, I think it's very important for me to mention this, because I know that most of us are just waiting. You're like, Prince, give me this sauce. I just need the sauce. Let me get out of here. I need the sauce. Yeah, I understand. But I like to build, I like to give you like a build up, because it's important that we walk through all of these phases. And if you work closely with me, or you've been like, maybe you've gotten mentorship from me, or probably you're in my community, or you've taken one of my course, you'd notice that trend in everything I do. I always love build up. I always love to give like a build up. I don't just jump into what we are here today, because this basic foundation that I'm talking about now are the things that will eventually help us, and will help us become better designers. So now, standard designers don't just follow trend; they solve real problem. I know that most of us have heard people say, "Oh, I'm a designer that solve problem." And in your head, despite the fact that you've been designing for years, and you've been designing for years, you still get to ask yourself that, how am I solving problem? Like, designing to solve real problem. What kind of problem am I solving? So as we go deep into this, you're going to understand what I mean by solving problem. Yeah. So I said standout designers don't just follow trends; they solve real problems. They ask the right questions and create identity system that feel both timeless and true to the brand. It's about showing up with excellence, understanding the why behind the design, and building a reputation that works. That w- and building a reputation for work that actually makes a difference. So let's just go forward. So now it's time for the sauce, and I know that you can't wait to have the sauce. So if you're ready to listen to the sauce and get the sauce, just leave another comment again, say sauce, but this time let it be long. You can say sauce, or you can put several exclamation mark behind it. So that's just for me to know that you are actually following. So I can see the chat. I can see that quite a number of us are engaging. That which is really good because it helps you stay focused. So drop sauce, then I can move on. Yeah, I want to see it. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah, sauce. Just keep saying sauce. Just keep saying sauce. Yeah. So now the secret sauce number one, which is the first thing that you must know as a brand designer or as a logos designer who want to stand out from the noise and from the crowd. This is the number one source that you need to know. Now, the number one source is the fact that the best logos are designed with strategic simplicity. Yes, take your time to process it. You can even take it word for word. The best logos are designed with strategic simplicity. Let's go ahead. So I'm going to explain. Now, what does this mean? So I have a note here on my other monitor that I'm also going to be reading to us, and I'm going to be explaining because I've listed all of these things down because I don't want to take our time. I know that in the past I've always said 1 hour is 1 hour, but eventually we use 2 hours plus and more. But so I've written all of it down. Now, you want to ask, what does this even mean? So, for top designers, for all top designers out there, we don't just make logos. We don't just make logos to be simple and clean. Now, there's always a strategy behind every logo that makes it memorable and scalable. Now, when I say strategic simplicity, I mean stripping away anything that doesn't serve a purpose while keeping the logo instantly recognizable. If you are not going to take anything away from this that I just said now, I want you to take that particular thing and note it down. That strategic simplicity means stripping away, that's taking off anything that doesn't serve a purpose while keeping the logo instantly recognizable. So now when you're designing logo, the first thing that needs to come to your mind is that you need to be strategic about it. And you need to understand that anything that does not even have meaning, don't just do it for the aesthetics. Don't just do it because it feels good. Don't just do it because you feel like, oh, if I put a square beside this thing, it makes sense. If I put a square beside it, it's going to make it fine. If it does not have anything that it is doing there, if it is not serving a purpose, cut it off. And now, why is this powerful? It is important for memorability. It is important for memorability. Yeah, memorability. Yeah, there's a word like that. So now, the human brain processes simple shapes faster and remember them longer, and that is why when you see a rectangle, you can tell that it's a rectangle. When you see a trapezium, you can tell that it's a trapezium. When you see a circle, you can tell that it's a circle. So for memorability's sake, that is one strategy still under the strategic simplicity. So I'm trying to break it down so you can understand. It is important for memorability's sake because the human brain processes simple shapes faster and remember them longer. Now, I have a case study before us. If you look at the case study here on the screen, you can see that I have Apple as the case study. Now, before I even go to Apple and talk about Apple, let's read the quotes that I have. I said that the best logos are not the most complex, they are the most intentional. And that is just the fact. They are the most intentional. Now, take a look at brands like Apple, look at the likes of Nike, McDonald's, what's this brand? This coffee brand. I've forgotten the name. If you remember, you can drop it in the chat. Starbucks. Yes, Starbucks. Look at those brands. You can tell that this is just so simple. And you would notice something. As I'm mentioning those brands, you are seeing them. Not because you are seeing it on my screen. The only thing you can see on my screen is Apple. But as I'm mentioning this brand, the logo is coming to your head because they are simple shapes, and that means it has passed the memorability test in your mind. That means you can remember it. It has passed. That is one mark. I need you to start writing it down. That is one mark. Now, the second reason is for versatility. For versatility. So a simple logo works across all platforms. Now, social media icons, business card, packaging, and etc. Now, versatility. You need to ask yourself, after creating every logo, you need to ask yourself, does this logo work across all platforms? This is just one secret I ask myself. And the truth of the matter is, this is what I'm going to tell you this truth. Whenever you see me post logo, people feel like, oh, this logo is awesome, I love the way it looks and stuff like that. Do you know that most of the times I have created like several versions of that logo, or I have iterated over and over before I got that particular one? Meaning that I have done some logos that doesn't feel well or doesn't feel good, and I just trash them or dump them, and it never even gets the daylight. You never even get to see it. And yes, that's true. That's true, because I have to ensure that no matter how good or aesthetically pleasing the logo look, I have to ensure that it is versatile. Now, let me give you a gist. Where I work as an art director, we have an event coming up in August, and I'm even using this opportunity to invite you all. You will get to see it on my page sometimes around June, July. You get to start seeing it on my page. So now, I was tasked, I created like the entire design system for the event. The logo is perfect, trust me, it's on point. But I started testing them across various platforms that these logos would most likely appear, and I discovered that it was not versatile. It was not usable across all of those platforms. It works well for posters, but it's not going well as DP. It's not working well on small prints and stuff like that. It just feels somehow. I had to trash that logo and start all over. Why? Because I need to ensure that it is versatile, it is simple as possible, and also works across all platforms. I want to believe that we are getting something. If you're getting something, please drop in the comments, say I'm getting something. Type it there, I am getting something, so I would know that truly you're getting something. Now, the third thing is timeless. If you check many of my content on Instagram, you would and you hear me talking about logo, you always hear me use the word timeless, timeless, timeless. Your logo has to be timeless. Don't just do logos because you want to follow the trend. Don't just do logos because you want to follow the trend, but create logos because you want them to be timeless, such that regardless of how many years after, the same logo still works across. The same logo still work 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now. Yes, it's okay that they iterate later, because I've seen quite a number of iteration. But take popular brands, for instance, Starbucks, the ones I've mentioned, Starbucks, Nike, take Apple, and go look at their trend of logos. You can tell that, bro, they just made it simpler. And one thing that I've really observed now, and I've taken a look into, that I've personally like done a research on, is I discovered that most logo now, like the new set of logos that we have, especially in this generation, are vectorized logo. Simple, monocolor. Sometimes they might not necessarily be monocolor, but they are flat logos. Why are they using flat logos? Because they've discovered that flat logos are usually very timeless. Unlike the 3D logos, they are usually very, very timeless, such that regardless of the year, several years after, it will still work for whatever you're trying to use it for. Okay, so it does not feel like I'm just saying all of this out of the fact that I'm just saying so many things. I'm giving you this assignment. When you get outside this lesson, do well to check the trends of Apple's logo, the trends of McDonald's logo, the trend of Nike logo, and see what I'm saying. You see that this logo has evolved over time while still maintaining the same identity. Now, how do we now apply all of these things that I've said about the four secrets into our life, into our designs? Very simple. The first thing you need to do is to reduce. Okay, how do pros like us and you, how do pros use all of this? Now, we reduce the logo down to the essence. One concept, one feeling, one symbol. It's as simple as that. Nobody should tell you that the lion should open his mouth and a bird should come out of it with a fire flowing down with a stream of water and maybe drip of dew falling on it. No, pick one thing and let it sync with that thing. So because the client is telling you that, oh, so in my brand I believe in this, believe in that, believe in that, you now pack all of those belief, you iconify, if there's a word like that, you iconify all of these things and pack it into one logo. You discover that you are only making a mess, because eventually the client that also gave you all of that brief is going to query you and most likely ask for a refund. Keep it simple as possible. Now, you should also ensure that the logo works in black and white. This is something I always ensure that I do in every of my logo. You can go and check my logos. Me, I'm not even a fan of several colors, which I'm not saying it is bad, by the way, but you can check that it always work as monocolors, such that if you can always use it as white, it works fine. You can always leave it as red, as black, it works fine as well. Look at the Apple logo, it's just pure black, there's no color added to it. If you check their website or check their other designs and other use cases, you'll see it. Sometimes maybe they are working on a dark theme, you'll see the logo come out as white. At the back of the phone, especially if you are using like the iPhone, I think 11 Pro Max upward, the silver back, I don't know what version, the silver back, you can tell that that logo color is silver. But bro, it works across all of this platform. So another thing that you need to do is ask yourself whenever you're working, whenever you've done a logo, one, is it memorable? I'm just doing like a quick recap. Is it memorable? Is it versatile? Now, when it comes to the application, again, under the application, this is the third thing under the application. Can it be sketched from the memory in 5 seconds? If I ask you now, draw Apple logo for me, you don't need to go and check online to draw Apple or Nike logo or what's this brand, Amazon logo. It's already in your head. It's so simple. You draw the mark and that's it. It's as simple as that. Is it memorable? So ask yourself, if it's not something that can be sketched easily, then your logo has failed a little bit. I know that we're getting something. I know that we are getting something already. So that's that about the first secret. Let me just do a quick recap. So ensure that it is memorable, versatile, and timeless. Now let's go over okay, I think there's something I forgot, okay, which I actually wrote down. Thank God I wrote it down. I forgot to mention it. Clients, this one is for clients. You need to understand that. Now, I'm not going to shout. I'm not going to shout this, but you really need to know that clients fall in love with logos they can remember, and their customers do too. So the simpler it is, the more iconic it becomes. It's as simple as that. There's nothing special about iconic logos other than that. Your clients love the logos that they can remember, and their customers love it too because they can remember. So the simpler it gets, the more iconic it becomes. That is just how you create iconic logos. Now let's move to the next source. If you're feeling me, if you're getting something out of this, I want you to say in the chat session, drop in the chat session, source 2, 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 so that I can move over to the next source that I'm going to be sharing. You can see that I'm not taking much of our time. This is just 8:33 p.m. over here in Nigeria, and I know that we have people from various parts of the countries, of the world rather. I've seen people from US, I've seen from Canada, India, and so many various parts of the world. Just drop source 2 and let's move on. So now the next secret sauce that we need to know is that the best logos are anchored in a deep brand story. I'm going to dwell here because this is like, for me, I'm going to say this is my biggest secret. Yes, for me, I'm just going to tell you the truth. This is my biggest secret. The best logos are anchored in a deep brand story. In a deep brand story. Now, there's something there's a particular logo I fell in love with. Let me see if I can pull it out for us. Hold on, please. I'm trying to see if I can. if I can pull it out. I know that uh okay, Headspace. Let me show you guys something. It's just so funny, but I'm gonna bring out a story from it. I just searched Headspace logo. So Headspace is more like a mental, should I say meditation? Yes, meditation and mental health brand. Now look at their logo. This is their logo. So funny. This is their logo. I know the funny part about it. The cycle is not even perfect. You can see the rough edges. Don't worry. Just take your own Google and search Headspace logo. You'd see it. The circle is not even perfect. Like, it's not even perfect. It's kind of rough. But do you know that I fell in love with this logo, and I fell in love with the brand. Why? Because of what I said here. That the best logos, because of what I said here, that the best logos are anchored in deep brand story. So okay, let me do this. Let me see if I can split my screen. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm able to split my screen so that I can always show you Google and like kind of okay. I think the screen is not showing properly. So let me bring this one out a little bit. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to, you know, adjust my so that I can show you what it actually looks like. Sorry about the whole movement. It's just for our own good. So let me reduce this because I'm going to be doing some things here on Google. I'm going to be showing you some stuff here on Google. So now I said I fell in love with this brand, right? Do you know that I took my time, and even my wife knows I studied this brand for over a week. Am I saying a week? This is more than 2 weeks. Sometimes she can just walk in and find me on my laptop looking deep into it and smiling. Sometimes I come and share some of the insights that I've gotten from this brand and I share with her. And you know what I discovered? I discovered that everything, all the old deep brand story around it, everything now makes the logo make sense to me. It just make me, when I see Headspace logo, I just smile out of love for it. But imagine that there was never a brand story around it. I'll feel like this is trash now. Who just puts a dot as a logo and give it orange color and calls it a brand logo? Does it even make sense? Does it even make sense? But now I'm going to share a link. I want us to go look at it. Sites. I hope I can find it. Let me see. Space brand. Okay, yeah, standards. So this link, I'm going to drop this link for you guys in the WhatsApp group. I'll drop it for you guys in the WhatsApp group. Do well to check it out. Like, study it well. So I'm dropping it. I just dropped a group now. I just dropped a message rather. I just dropped a message rather. So study it well, like it's your exam. Study it like somebody's going to ask you question. So now this brand is rooted. Just go well, read everything. Read everything. Don't just look at the beautiful visuals and move from there. Read every single thing. Do well to check out who they are, check out the tone and voice and identity. Take your time, carefully read each letters, and you discover that a lot of things actually comes together to make this make sense at the end of the day. So now let's go straight into what we have to discuss here. so that I don't bore you. Uh, so that I don't bore you. So now, this is the quote for this second source, which is the fact that great logos aren't just visuals; they are symbols of belief. Now, what does this mean? For top designers, we don't just jump straight into Adobe Illustrator. We don't just go straight into opening the software. We start by understanding the brand purpose itself. And that is what we always do. We always start by understanding the brand purpose, the value, and the personality. Now, one thing that you need to know about great logos is that great logos reflect the soul of the business, not just by its name. So it's not just enough for you to say, um, let me look for somebody's name. It's not just enough. Okay, someone is asking for the link to the WhatsApp group. Um, Please, can anybody fetch it and share? Okay, or let me just pull it up. Let me just pull it out. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can't. Okay, anyways, just go to my Instagram, check the bio there. You'll find a link. So on that link, you'll find the link to join the group. So I just dropped it on the group because that was why we said everybody should register. It's because of reasons like this. That's why I asked that everyone should register so that you don't miss out on some of these important things. So now, as I was saying, great logos aren't just visuals, they are symbols of belief. Now, I was talking about how that we don't just jump into Adobe Illustrator. We understand the brand purpose, the value, and the personality. And I also said that that great logos don't just reflect, great logos reflect the soul of the business, not just by its name. So it's not enough for you to say. So it's not enough for me to say, um, Frosty Bites, and for me to say, oh, Frosty Bite, oh, that means it's frosty and it's a bite. No, it should be beyond the name. It reflects the a great logo would reflect it even beyond the name itself. So now, why is this important? Now, one thing you need to know, this one secret about clients that you need to know as well, that the best logo feel personal to the clients because they are. The best logos, they feel personal to the clients because they are. So why is this important? It is important because the client connects to the story behind the logo and feels ownership. This Earth piece that I shared with you is going to do a lot of justice to it. And I also have a project that I worked on like that. I know that quite a number of you that have seen it on my page. Juice it out. You haven't seen Juice it out, Juice it out. There's something similar to for Juice it out, that when I push out the what's it called, the live cases, when I push the live case online, I'm going to share the link in the platform too, so that everybody can also go through it and see my own real life use case, right? So you understand all of these things. Now, the clients connect to the story behind the logo and feels ownership. So when there's a proper storyline, not just story as in you telling, oh, once upon a time, I don't mean that. I mean when there's a proper strategic story behind the crafting of that logo, it helps the clients even feel the ownership. They feel like, oh, this is my stuff, this is mine. And that is why you would always hear me most of the time say that it is hard for me to create logos that clients will reject, because I put all of these things into play. No matter how stupid the logo looks like to you, sometimes I even do logos that naturally I just feel like if I just saw it, I might not necessarily have liked it. But because I know the process that went behind, I know the story behind it, it makes sense to me. And when I share this with the client, they can't even say no. They always go ahead to accept. Now, that is 100% success rate. Instead of you being in the position of you having your logos rejected over and over, having to iterate over and over. I hardly iterate logos. Trust me. You can ask my students that have my course. They will tell you I hardly iterate on logos, because the first thing I drop for you is even a bang, and when I give you the storyline, you are in love already. So now, it's also important because the logo become more than a design. It becomes a strategic brand asset. It becomes a strategic brand asset. Sorry, I'm not reading from my slide, but you can read the slide anyways. But I'm just reading to you the stuff that I wrote down because it's more detailed, right? And I don't just want to keep speaking over and over, saying things because we are almost out of time. Yes. So I'm just trying to like rush up everything as well. If you're following me, type following in the chat so I can know that I am not speaking to myself here. If you're following me, type following so I can know that I am not speaking to myself and you are actually following me. So let's continue. I said that the logos become more than a design and it becomes a strategic brand asset. Now, something else that you need to note under this second source is the fact that it gives the designer an edge. Now, you might be asking, how is it giving me an edge? It's not my project, it's not my work. You are not just designing the logo, but you are telling their story visually. And this is one thing that I enjoy the most when it comes to brand designs, when it comes to creation of logo. I always love to be the storyteller. I always love situations whereby I feel like, oh, yes, this person is the actual owner of the brand, but I was the one that was able to communicate the brand story. So you see me raise my shoulders like this, nothing to my shoulder. It's just because I'm trying to jump on that trend, but I could not think of something. So I always love to be in a situation whereby I'm the one who told the brand story. Right? So now, how do pros apply these things that I've said? They ask deep questions during discovery phase. And this is one thing that most of us really need to do. Don't jump on any logo design project without a discovery session. Don't jump on any logo. Don't let anybody just send you logo and say, oh, I want to create this logo, and boom, you've picked it up, you've slapped it in Illustrator, you started designing. Trust me, 99% of the times you keep on iterating. They'll say, no, this is not good enough, I don't like this color. Jump on discovery, have discovery sessions. First, understand why. Just like I wrote in the slide before you, understand why. Understand why the person wants to create the logo. What are they trying to achieve at the end of the day? Not just because they want to have a logo for their brand, but understand the why behind it. So ask deep questions during the discovery phase. I know that some of you in your mind, you might be thinking, oh, what are these deep questions that need to be asked? I know that some of us are thinking about that. Sorry, a call was trying to disconnect me. Thank God I was swift. So ask these questions. I know that in your mind you are thinking that, oh, what are these questions that I need to ask my clients? What are these questions that I need to put in place, that I need to ensure that I ask so that I can get the actual answers that I need? And how do I use them? Yes, I'm going to share with you. Don't worry, I'll talk about it after this entire session. I'll talk about it. I have 8 minutes more to go. Now, let me just give you samples of some of those questions that you can ask, so it does not feel like I am gatekeeping to the end. Why was this brand started? Why was it created? What problem are you trying to solve? I know that you might be thinking that, okay, how does all of this question even really concerns me? I'm going to talk about it at the end of this session. What does it believe in? That's another question. So now, what pros do is now we look for symbols and metaphor that reflect these values and use them as inspiration. Now, when somebody say, okay, in our brand, we are kind people, we just try to be kind to people, we show empathy. Now I start looking at symbols around that. Oh, the sign of peace, sign of empathy. Dove is actually a peaceful bird. Okay, I start gathering all of those things in my mood board. I know that some of us don't even know what mood board is or how to even use one, and I'm not going to talk about that here. So now let me give you examples so you can like in context understand what I'm saying. Now let's analyze the Amazon logo. Let me fetch it out. I wish I can pull it up. Okay, let me just do this. Now let's look at the Amazon logo. Let me use that as a case study. Now, the Amazon logo is very simple, and I know some of us might have wondered over time that, okay, what is it about this Amazon logo? And I'll tell you that the story behind Amazon logo is one of the things that I really love. So now, let me just break this down to you. Amazon logo has a smile from A to Z. Now, let's look at it. A to Z. So if you are using Amazon logo, you can't just go and pick it up and point your own arrow to something else. Now, what does it mean? What does the A to Z now mean? Why did they do it this way? They are trying to tell you that they sell everything from A to Z. Whatever it is you can think of, A to Z, they sell. Now, do you see how blown away we are? I am just so blown away. The day I discovered this, I was literally blown away because I felt like, oh my God, I never thought of that. They sell everything from A to Z. They are trying to let you know that there's nothing you look for that they don't have from A to Z. Can you see that strategy? Can you see all of those things? Can you see how it comes to play? Now, imagine the clients telling them that, oh, we sell everything, like anything that you can think of from A to Z. As a designer, you might feel like, okay, how is that my business? You need every information that you can get. Now, this information is one of the things that informed the logo design for Amazon. Simple text with the logo pushing from A to Z. It's that simple. It's that simple. Now, another one I want us to look at is FedEx. Now, look at FedEx. Look at FedEx brand. Now, one thing you need to know is that FedEx, they have a hidden arrow in their logo between this A. Look at this E rather. This E and X. You can see this arrow there. Just go check it out yourself. Browse it out. FedEx. You'll see that there's an arrow there. Now, what does this arrow imply for FedEx people? It means FedEx has a. It means that FedEx is symbolizing speed and precision. That means they are fast with their delivery and they are precise with it. And when you talk about precision and speed, we always use arrows for it. Can you see that deep now? Somebody say deep in the chat. Drop deep in the chat if you are getting something. If you are actually understanding where I am bringing this conversation to. Drop deep, right deep in the chat session. Now, when a logo carries a piece of brand story, it is no longer just a mark. It becomes meaningful, and meanings always sell. That is just one thing you should know. If you are not taking anything away from this second source that I shared with you, that is one thing that you should really take home. When a logo carries a piece of brand story, it's no longer a mark. It becomes meaningful, and meaning always sell. Meaning always sell. Thank you very much, guys, for dropping deep. So let's move on to the last source that we'll be discussing today, and I'm just going to really wrap this one up. It up. So now, the best logos obsess over distinctiveness, not just beauty. The best logo obsess over distinctiveness and not just beauty. Now, let's go straight into the quotes. I have a quote here. It says, a beautiful logo that looks like everyone else is a forgettable logo. This one, let me just summarize it in a nutshell before I even go deeper. Let me just summarize it. If you create a logo for a brand and it looks like every other logo out there, trust me, you've even been forgotten before you even launch the brand. Before the brand is launched, it's already forgotten. It's already forgotten because it is looking like every other brand out there. And that is why, as a brand designer, you must ensure that you put all this strategy in place, because most of the time you feel like, there's nothing else that I can even design again. Every logo is the same. No, every logo are not the same. You can always come up with something completely new that has never existed before. But why you're unable to come up with it is because there's no strategy behind your logo creation. All you do is collect the name, start searching on Pinterest, and you come straight into your design software and you start designing and you deliver to the client. That is why you are having that issues. You can always come up with something distinctive. with something distinct. Now, it is better to be different than to be pretty. That's a very powerful word that you should hold on to. It is better to be different than to be pretty. Yes, it is better to be different than to be pretty. So now, I wrote something down in this slide. Let me just read the slide. If you're going to be a top designer, it is important for you to analyze competitor to avoid cliche and carve a unique lane. Now, also, when you show the logo to someone without context, this is something else that I want you to note. When you show the logo to somebody without context, that's without explaining, does it stand out or look like something they've seen before? Now, this means that if you work on a logo and you share with somebody and the person say, this logo looks familiar, trust me, your logo has failed. Okay, maybe not completely, but 90% of the time your logo has failed, because if it does not stand out and it's looking like something that they've seen before, it has failed, because what comes to their mind is that one that they know before, not the one that you worked on. You can see how brand designers determine how far a business or a brand will go. This is one reason, I'm just going to give you this tip. This is one reason why you should charge well as a designer, because you are giving life to the brand. You can decide if the brand is going to die or if the brand is going to live. Imagine me create a logo that looks like Coca-Cola for another drink brand. I've killed the logo before I even started. I've literally put knife in the neck of the brand rather, and I've killed it. Regardless of whatever they do on marketing, regardless of millions they'll spend on marketing, it will never make it, because there is another brand existing, which is Coca-Cola, that is already known. You can see, and imagine that I charged a couple of dollars for it, just few couple of dollars for it. I charge small, yet the success of that brand is dependent on me. Now imagine that, and I do something that is out of the box, something that works perfectly, that is so perfect, they are making millions with it because they are distinct, while I charge little for it. Can you see where the psychology comes in now? Can you see why, as a designer, you need to charge more? You need to be charging more. If you are not going to charge more for any other reason, this reason that I've stated now, just note it. It is why you need to charge more. Right? So now, let me just quickly share what it means, what I wrote down. So I said that a logo can be aesthetically beautiful and still fail. Why? Because it looks like everything else. The real secret is distinctiveness. That is creating something that is unique to the brand and memorable to the audience. Something that the brand can, the audience can see and say, oh, I remember FedEx. Oh, okay, yeah. Top designers prioritize originality. That is one thing I would do. We want to be original. We are not trying to copy any existing logo or anything. We are always trying to be original. So if you are here on this chart and you've never at any point tried to be original with your logo, then you are not a top designer, and you should not even talk about getting to the top, because you might never get there. It's not you might, you can never get there. That's just the truth, right? That's just the truth. So one thing again that we need to understand is you should make sure that the logo, that nobody else uses such logo in the industry, such that even without the brand name, the logo still remains the logo. It still remains memorable. That even without the name, you can still tell that, oh, this is this brand. Look at car brands: Toyota, Honda, Kia. Okay, let me not talk about Kia. Kia already rebranded, so the logo says it all. Honda and those cars, Rolls-Royce, Ferrari. Just the icon, you know what it is. They didn't write the name there, bro. Someone is saying they can't see. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think you can see now. Nobody's writing their name, but yet you can tell that it is those brand, right? All right. So now, why is this important? If you follow the trend of this class, you see that I've been mentioning it. Why is it important? It is important because it makes the brand instantly recognizable in a crowded market, such that regardless of wherever the brand finds itself, you can always distinctively tell that this logo is for this brand. It's as simple as that. Now, the second thing is it becomes ownable, which is the last one I wrote here. What makes the logo ownable is the key. This is the key that makes. Sorry, let me just read that again. What makes the logo ownable? That's the key to iconic status. So I'm going to explain that. Now, it becomes ownable. No one else has a mark like it. The client feels proud to use it, and competitors cannot imitate it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It makes it ownable such that nobody can even copy you. Just like Coca-Cola, just like these popular brands that you know. Any brand that is coming, imagine I wake up tomorrow morning and I work on a maybe mango, and I design it to look something like apple, beaten off at the side and stuff like that. You just laugh. You feel like, why is this guy copying apple? Whereas I wasn't copying apple. I was just doing my stuff. But because Apple has a mark that is ownable, nobody can imitate it. If you are building a brand and you start looking like Apple, bro, you are failing without even being in the market yet. You started failing. And that's just how it is. Now, how do pros apply this? First, the first thing we do is we research the competitors to avoid cliche and common shape. We research competitors in this field. Let's see what brands in this field have done and what's the trend, what does their logo look like, what does it look like. We start avoiding those things. We start avoiding all of this. You can see all of this process I've mentioned. I have not even talked about designing. I've not even talked about opening your Illustrator or sketching. I've never even talked about anything, because these are the process that would cut the number of time that you spend reviewing a logo project. Right? Now, the second thing that pros do is that we experiment with custom letter forms, unique mark, and unexpected symbolism. That is why when you see some of our sketchpad, you see series of logos just for one brand. We are sketching, we are iterating. We can draw one, it looks like, oh no, this is not perfect. We do something else, we draw some. We can have like 20 logos for one brand. Eventually what you get to see on social is just one. But if you would not know that in our backlog we have several logos that we've worked on. But that's because we are just trying to ensure that it does not look like any other brand. Now, the last thing is we test these logos for context. We test it on Mesh, social media posts, on mockups to see what it looks like and if it still carries that meaning. Once it still carries that meaning, we are gone. Now, let me give like a case study. Airbnb logo. Let's look at it. Let's look at Airbnb logo. Look at it. Just take a look at this logo. Take a look at this logo. So this it's actually I don't know what language that is. It's called Below or Below, or it's spelled B with a mark on it, then LO symbol. It's distinctive, it's attractive, yet has a very deep meaning, and it does not look like any other hospitality company. If you check the whole word and you see this logo, regardless of however they shape it, the first thing that comes to your mind is this is Airbnb. That's the first thing that comes to your mind, that this is Airbnb. Now, let's look at the former X logo, Twitter Bed. Forget the X now. Twitter Bed, McDonald Arc, the shells. You're familiar with this brand. They are instantly ownable, like they are instantly recognizable. When you see them, you don't even need the names to know what they are. So now, you should understand that a beautiful logo might make people say nice, nice, but a distinctive one make them say wow, I've never seen anything like that before. That's when you know that this logo is perfect. That is when you know that this logo is perfect. Right, guys? So I have come to the end of all of this sauce. I said I was going to share 3, and I think I've shared that 3. So I have bonus one for you, which is something that I always talk about in every of my posts. I think I talked about it in my recent post as well. The best logos are created by skilled designers. Now, it is one thing for you to know all of this. It is now another thing for you to be able to create it. You see that the problem just keep on multiplying. is another thing to be able to create it. That's the bonus point I have for you. So before I start to take questions, there's something I want to let you guys on. I know that some of us will feel like, oh, Prince is here to sell his course and stuff like that. Of course, I'm going to sell my course to you, but I am not going to force it on you, because I feel like if you're going to become a good designer, then your skill is also important as well. And the good part about this course I'm going to introduce you to, what I want to introduce you to now, is the fact that I'm not just teaching you how to use Illustrator. All of these things and even much more deeper. You can ask my students when you get to interact with any of them. They will tell you that this course is in depth. Now, this is the course some of you are asking already. Just in case, okay, I wrote that just in case you catch yourself feeling lost, because you are pretty sure you don't possess that skill, or you are sure you aren't even good, or probably you are not good but need clarity, or probably you're good rather but need clarity on how to create something standard, then this course is for you. So I've created a course. I could have created this course since last year and I just finished it this year. That's to show you how in-depth it is. So this course is actually 12 hours. It's a 12 hours course. That's like half an entire day, though I didn't record it in one day. Anyways, so I took my time, right? I took my time to ensure that I created this course. I think there are some people who have purchased this course and they can tell you for free that this course is deep. Someone purchased this course last week. A lady purchased it last week and she flooded my DM with messages. Oh, I started this course. Do you know it's actually better than blah blah blah? I'm not going to mention it. So she has been giving me so many testimonials that when I see it, I just laugh. When I see it. Okay, someone is still asking for the link. Let me try to fetch it out for you. I don't know why you're unable to get it, but you're supposed to see it on my Instagram. But I'm just going to fetch it out regardless. Okay. All right. So that's all about it. Anyway, so if you have questions, I would like to take 2 or 3 questions before we wrap it up. We are 11 minutes past the time that we planned to be here. So if you have questions, please do well to drop it in the chats. I'm going to be looking out for questions. So also, yes, about this course. Now, the juicy part of it is that I have taken out some certain percentage for those of us that are on this call. And if you would like to get this course, now I have a coupon code for you to check out. But the truth of the matter is that I have only limited this to 20 persons, because I was going through the group and I saw that we are over 100 and something. Even though I know that not everybody will be able to make it to this live session, but I knew that we're over 100 and something. And if I leave that coupon to cover the 100 and something, man, I'm going to be losing a lot, which I don't think is something I want to do. So I've opened it to just 20 persons who are going to take actions. And trust me, it's automated, so it's not even controlled by me. Once the 20 people are complete, it's going to automatically stop working. So now it's going to give 20% off this course. I'm going to drop the link in the group chat, and I'm also going to find a way to paste it here. Let me find how I can paste it here. So for the course, it's actually a video course. It's pre-recorded, and the juicy part is that sometimes we're going to be having live sessions where we get to ask ourselves questions, we get to talk and all of those things. So yeah, I can see the chat, I can see the link already. Oh, okay. Now it's not, this is not even for me to say that I'm just preaching about my course. You can check out what Odun said here now in the chat. So Odun also purchased my course, I think about 2 weeks ago, a week. He said he's almost done with the course and it's pretty simple yet effective. And I think that is the take home for everybody. That is what is important. You are not supposed to spend eternity on a course and still not get anything. So this course is well broken down, and this course is well broken down, and yet it is very 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 effective, very effective. So now you have 20% off if you are going to take action, and the coupon code was what I was trying to fetch out before. Oh, the coupon code is Prince Gang. So if you use the link, the code is Prince Gang. Can someone help me type it? All caps, all caps. I'm coming. Prince Gang. Can someone let me fetch the link and share here? Okay. All right. You can see the link now. Yeah, that's the coupon code and that's the link. So do well to go over, purchase, so that you can even have better access to me. So I'm going to be taking questions. Two questions very quickly. If there are no questions, so we can wrap up the entire class and move on. So I'm waiting, but I'm very, okay, let me not say I'm too sure. I'm like 80%, 90% sure that there will be no questions, because everything I've mentioned in this course so far, I have broken it down well. I have broken it down well. And I'm also going to be sharing this slide on the general group for everyone to see. I'm going to share on the general group. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact that we all made it here and we made this a success at the end of the day. So I'm really really grateful for that, because it's one thing to create a live session like this, and it's another thing for people to join with their own data to watch you or listen to you. Okay, GJ Graphics is asking for the link. Yeah, Olapel, you can see the Olapel account. It has the link already. That's the seller link. So you can use that link. I'm also going to be dropping it for those of us that are already in the community. I'm going to be sending the link to the community as well as these documents too. So if you're willing to make the link is there. You can see it's GJ Graphics. You can see it's this one that's Olapel is dropping, this seller.com blah 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 blah. That's the link. So let me see if I can pull it up here. I'm coming. Okay, so I was saying that if you want to get the link to the community, it's very very simple. First, what you need to do is head over to Instagram, go over to my page, search for my page, Prince Dynamic. This first link that you see, tinyurl.com / okay, let me just copy it. Let me see. Okay, yeah, just go over to my page. You're going to find the link there. So you have two links. Now the first link here that has this program is the link to the community, while the second one is the link to the course, and the coupon code for checking out is Prince Gang, all caps. So guys, I think I've really tried. I need to go now. Yeah, so that's how you can get it. That's just how you can get. I'm trying to fetch the link, but I'm really having issue. Okay, Thank you very much, Odun. So Odun is doing a great job. Odun, please can you help me drop it here on the YouTube chat as well? Can you help me drop it here on the YouTube chat as well, so that people can have access to it? Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna leave you with that. Thank you very much once again, and I look forward to seeing new people joining our community going forward. So this community is very very active, and we are going to be. I'm going to drop in updates from time to time. We get to converse. There are some times that we'll have chit chat sessions where we get to talk. So I'm looking forward to all of that. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup for those that are from the francophone speaking countries. And I don't know how they say it in India and all of those countries. I was going through the list of people that registered, and I saw that we had people from different countries register, which is actually very very nice, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys. See you in future sessions. Bye. Peace out.